And now let us Om Sahana Bhavato Sahano Bhunakto Sahaveryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvesavahe Om Shanti 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 Om Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutrabhasakrtau Vande Bhagavanto Panaha Panaha Isaragatmete Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyavadvyakta Dehaya Siddhachinamurtaye Namaha Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Om Gurubhyo Namaha Om Ganganapataye Namaha Om Em Saraswate Namaha Om Klim Kalikaye Namaha Om Klim Bhadrakalye Namaha Om Dam Durgaye Namaha Om Hrim Namah Shivaya Harihi Om. So let we shall continue today the Gupta Sadhana on the tantric perspectives or according to the Tantra Darshan, according to Tantra Shastra. So just a little bit make you little bit remind you. So we have been studying the second sadhana, the third sadhana, Pancha Tattva. We have been studying before Kriya Yoga, Savsadhana, Pancha Tattva. And Pancha Tattva, we are in the final stage about Maithuna. So today, according to Tantric perspectives, we are studying Maithuna, how the Panchamakara, Pancha Tattva. Through the Pancha Tattva, you can realize the absolute or the Shiva Tattva, the final liberations. So today we are going to learning about Maithuna. Actually, Maithuna, the special terminology. Actually, Maithuna means prasanna. Maith. Prasanna means about bliss and happiness, not the lost. Maithuna, normally, most of the people translate sex means lost. But Maithuna means actually the proper Sanskrit. They're called bliss, not the lost. So that is the love. So therefore, I already speak yesterday. Maithuna have two perspectives according to common people, and what is called Maithuna, what is called sexual union, and that is one part of the understanding, but that is not right meanings. So according to Tantra Shastra, they say that the creation and the destruction, and creation and destruction is also union, the Maithuna. And same time, we say Shiva and Shakti when united together, and that and when awakening Kundalini takes place in the Brahmarandra, and that is the real Maithuna. So here two kind of Maithuna people experience. A yogi experience Maithuna in the Sahasra, in the Brahmarandra Sahasra, and a common people experience their second chakra, the Swadhisthana. And once you experience and that kind of Maithuna can be practiced, a yogi practice alone and experience how they rising their Shakti energy and unite with the Lord Shiva. That is also Maithuna, that is called Dachinacharya. So therefore, and we have to understand properly. And if the Maithuna, if you think Maithuna is sexual union, then everybody and all beings could be liberated. So this, in very good Sanskrit, they speak Sakti Sambhoga Matrena Yadi Mukhyo Bhaven Bhavete Sarveti Jantava Loke Mukta Sivotriya Nisesanavaram. They say that Sakti Sambhoga Matrena Yadi Mukhya Bhavetya Sarveti Jantava Loke Mukta Sivo Striya Nivesana. They say that if you think Maithuna, if you take the normal meanings like sexual union, and if you take that common meanings, so that everybody could be liberated, everybody could be mukta, and everybody could achieve the Siva Tattva, right? So that is your critics. So it means it is not correct, and that is not real Maithuna. So sexual union, it does not lead to the moksha, the liberations. If that meaning we take it, according to Tantra Shastra, is called wrong meanings, not the right meaning. Otherwise, everybody could moksha. But according to Tantra Shastra, the Maithuna leads all the way to the final liberation. And one can experience Brahma Jnana. So here we have to clear. So they say Maithuna ke विषय में कहा जाता है. Again they speak. Maithunam parama tattvam. Maithuna is the supreme truth. And what is that called? Maithuna is the supreme truth, the absolute truth. Srishti, sthiti, antakaranam. So the srishti sthiti, the creation and destruction, it is also the Maithuna. Maithuna jayate siddhi. If anyone really understand what is Maithuna, and that Shiva Shakti union takes place, that is happens. Even if you are study proper techniques of the science of Tantra, the Maithuna can help you all the way to get all kind of siddhis, all kind of perfection and spiritual and mystic powers. Not only that, it leads to the moksha and enter into Brahma Jnana. And therefore, that is called Brahmacharya or Kalacharya. Maybe later you will experience. Later you are going to understand, not now. So I'm not going to details until now. So it means we have to understand the secrets of the Maithuna. You have to understand the secret of the Maithuna so that a female and male partner, Shiva and Shakti, they can have also physical union, sexual union, Maithuna, that also can help you all the way to experience the Sahasra, to experience that Shiva and Shakti union in the Sahasra and the top of the chakra, Brahmarandra. And that experience means it is awakening of the Kundalini. That experience means is help to the liberation, the final freedoms. So here you must understand, we have been studied before also, one has to preserve the Bindu. Bindu should not fall down. So that is the secrets of the Maithuna. If a Tantrika Sadhika, and the practitioners, if they have the Maithuna, they should not experience only the sexual pleasure in the Svadhyaya sexual chakra. No. So that is not the Tantric concepts. They have to experience bliss on the Sahasra, and that is going to help you to awaken the Kundalini, expansion of the consciousness, and leads all the way to the Brahma Jnana. So that is, they say, Maithunam parama tattvam srushti stitanta karanam. Even another terminology, the srishti, the creation and destruction, also it is part of union as well. Maithuna jayate siddhi. So anyone, actually, this is srishti or sthiti ka parama tattva se milana ka yog Maithuna hai. Then इस योग से सृष्टि और स्थिति का परम तत्व से मिलन का योग मैथुन है. इस योग में दुर्लभ ब्रह्म ज्ञान प्राप्त होता है. So this is दुर्लभ ब्रह्म ज्ञान. ब्रह्म ज्ञान दुर्लभ means something is mystic that cannot be explained. That cannot explain by the words and intellect, mind, matter, phenomena. So that has to be very clear. So they say Srishti, the creation, or sthiti ka parama tattva. So that is, we have to be very clear. So, so tantric sadhana or the tantric Maithuna is not for the ordinary sadhakas. Therefore, the critic, according to yogis and masters, they try to not critic, they give the logical arguments. Everybody have the sexual union. If you take Maithuna as sexual union, then everybody could liberate and moksha and brahmagyan. That is actually not. So we have to be very clear here. And then after that, इसी संदर्भ में मैथुन का सम्मति जैसा एक ग्रुप है. So if they are female and male partner, they're doing the Maithun like sexual union, that also can help to the brahmajnana. That stage is called samadhi, if you know the secrets. And that already established, already talked before. So how to preserve bindu and how to awaken kundalini takes place. So kundalini not awakening takes place in Swadhisthana, but that has to all the way goes to the forward. Sakti has to rise all the way to the reach, the Shiva Tattva. Shiva is residing. So according to the Tantra Shastra. But there I have already explained certain kind of my lectures. Awakening Kundalini takes place in the Swadhisthana, Anahat Chakra, Heart Chakra, then Agyan Chakra. But that is different perspectives. I will explain that later. So that different. If somebody practices devotions, dedicated to God like Mirabai, she can awaken heart chakra. Somebody Jnana Yogi means awakening the Agyan Chakra. What does that mean? So Agyan Chakra means here one has to completely surrender to the God Almighty. Anyway, either you practice awakening the heart chakra or the Agyan Chakra or the Swadhisthana. It has to total surrender to the higher divinity. So, but Swadhisthana awakening takes place only when you are completely surrender to Devi, the goddess, and heart chakra when you completely surrender, devoted. An example like a Mother Mira, the Mira, and Agyan Chakra like great Jnana yogis, like Ganeshwar, and he was walking path of Jnana, means he was completely surrender to the higher divinity. So, and Swadhisthana to completely surrender to Devi, the Parasakti. Then three things. For example, that was great master Swami Muktananda. You may study Kundalini Tantra, the book, and you can find there very good inspiring talks. Swami Muktananda, he was the disciple of Swami Nityananda in the close to the central India, Maharashtra. They used to have Saktipat. So only if the disciple is ready, so we give Diksha Saktipat, the awakening Kundalini takes place. Like Swami Sivananda also, and he used to this technique, and he used to translate the power to the disciples. Very few. So, and that is another way to awakening Kundalini. But here we are talking about Maithuna, how Maithuna leads to the Samadhi. And that is Samadhi. And that, so we have to be very clear a little bit. Is yoga dullava? We have to understand Brahmagyan is not merely discussions. It's not merely intellectual talks. It's not merely only experience. No, it is something to realize, bodha, and that is called mystic. Brahmagyan is mystic. Nobody can explain. And it is beyond mind, matter, and phenomenon, the transcendental consciousness. Only the guru, the Brahmanista guru, they can only give information to their disciples. You are not the body, you are not the mind, but you are immortal Atman. But these things are not speakable, not gossiping in the society at all. Not reading by books. Even reading the books is not right information. So therefore, never you say, I'm not body, I'm not mind, I'm the Atman. So it is nice, but that is informative knowledge. It does not help nothing. So therefore, you have to be very clear how your mind can cheating you. So mind can have the false knowledge. And that leads to avidya and ego. So you have to be very clear that. So therefore, only reading books is not enough. So you have to have bodha. So therefore, they say, in according to Sanskrit, say Brahma Jnana Sudullavam. Dulla means completely mystic. It is not discussable. It is not talking. So only The guru give information to you. That's all. Like a mother. Mother knows something, give information to your own child. But child need to realize that. But here is not about merely intellectual discussions. So again, so Jnana Yoga, whatever you study, is only giving you a discipline of the life, like Vedic science. The science of Veda is nothing, art of living, how to management of your mind and emotions, and samskaras in the social life. That help you only chitta suddhi. All kind of spiritual science, it does not actually help you to attain samadhi or to experience intellectually the Brahma Jnana. Not possible, not possible. Only chitta suddhi. Only chitta suddhi, that's all. And once you chitta suddhi, you must meditate. Again, you have to go to observation of the masters so they can watch you. When you go different stages of meditations, different stages of samadhi, and you still need the guidance of the gurus and masters. Nobody can help you that stage. And there is no intellectual discussions. So therefore, many people became mad. Many people go to mental hospitals. Many people become, psychic. That you can see also around the world sometimes happens. So, and especially in Europe, there is no master and gurus to guide you. So end of the day, you go psychiatric, they give injection and tablets, so this life is finished. So next life again you born. So that is there. But the land of India is different. So sometimes you go to masters. So therefore we speak Maithuna. इसी संदर्भ मैथुन का समाधि जैसा एक रूप है. So Maithuna leads to all the way to this samadhi. And इसी अवस्था में साधुरा ईश्वर रूप के साथ स्वयं को एकाकार कर देता है. It means through the samadhi, through the Maithuna, and a sadhaka, a tantric sadhaka or the sadhika are both partners. They going to have the knowledge of Ishvara, immortality. Not only that, they merge in the Shiva Tattva. So they both are merged. The Shiva Tattva is not oneness, is merge. Merge is not one, not two, is the absolute. When it's a oneness, when it's a one is there, there can be two. So not actually ekakar. Ekakar means they can say oneness, but it's not right terminology. We cannot say God is one. God is absolute. God is not one. God is absolute. So when you say God is one, God can be two, God can be three, God can be four. So God cannot be diluted. When you say one, there is two, there is three, there is minus, there is zero. So God is absolute. So Brahma, not one. So you have to be very clear when you're speaking something. Your words, you have to mind it. You have to be mindfulness, not mindless, but be mindful. So therefore, most of the time, we're reading some scriptures or books or novels. That's not right terminology. The people write novels. They don't have any brain of Brahmagyanas. So therefore, Swami Sivananda always say that, yes, there is many people who read many books. I already read many things, but it does not work. Even if people tell me, oh, Swami, you read this book, and somebody write this, they will send me quotation by WhatsApp. I say, forget it. Get lost, these kind of things. Because Swami Sivananda say that only read the Shastras. Only listen Shastra from the Gurus. And with Shastra leads to all the way to Brahmajnana. That is very important. So here, Tantra Shastra, they speak every sadhana leads to the Brahmajnanam. So you have to be very clear. So in the ancient time, to study the science of Tantra, you have to end all kind of vidyas. That means you have to well educated, even yogic science, even Vedantic science. So that also you need. And then you go to Tantric science. Tantric science, most advanced science among all the science. So that you have, then that brings complete of the life. Even a great Adiguru Shankaracharya and so on. Even he was Advaita. And end of the day, you have to experience. I have read Tantra Shastras. So anyway, every schools, they have their own perfections. And like you go to supermarkets, so every shops, they have their own thing to sell it. But if you are really good spiritual seekers, and you have to integrate yoga, Vedanta and Tantra, three things important. And there you have to understand what is yoga, what is Vedanta, what is Tantra. So that all things are starts by Chitta Shuddhi, by sadhana again. Many people who disagree with me always about Seva, about Karma Yoga. Many people. You can never achieve nothing in your life. That be clear. Because, and that is the foundation. For example, you go to any ashrams, nothing comes free there, and nothing comes free. So it is the material world. So you must provide, somebody provide everything for you to study all free or food and sleeping. But who provide you? And you became, and that is called, how you say, you are become loan and you pay that credits. So Seva, whatever you're doing, you have to pay the credits. So that you have to be very clear. Without Seva, without Karma Yoga, no sadhana, no samadhi, nothing. That is my way of higher understandings, which is the, may you are not agree with me, but maybe this life you no need to agree, next life, another life, some life you have to agree. Then your sadhana really starts. Otherwise, no sadhana. So that will be very clear. Then say, उस अवस्था में साधक ईश्वर रूप के साथ स्वयं को एकाकार कर देता है. So here the beauty of a Maithuna, and according to the Tantra Shastra, Tantra Darshan, leads all the way to the Brahma Jnana. If you are guided by the master, or if you are practicing, if you have your suitable partners or the acharyas, so that can help you. But anyway, this is the, now we are going to explain Dakshinacharya. So we shall go to the different school of the systems of the Tantra. Dakshina Margi Tantra में मैथुन का तात्पर्य आत्मा और परमात्मा के मिलन से है. According to Dakshinacharya, according to Dakshinacharya, what happening? According to Dakshinacharya, they say that Atma and merge with Paramatma, and that is called Maithuna. So it is different perspectives. So then, according to Dakshina Marga Tantra, I already said Dakshina Marga, Kaula Marga, and Bama Marga. There are three kind of paths in the Tantra school, major schools. There is maybe more other schools as well exist. But as per available now for you, if I have more information as well, but I'm not going to speaking now. So you have to go first to study 10 sadhanas. Then we are going to study how many sadhakas, how many sadhakas, and how many schools, how many paths, all these things. इसकी पूर्णाहुति कुंडलिनी योग के साधना के क्रम में तब होती है जब शक्ति तत्व और शिव तत्व में तादात्म्य स्थापित होता है. Maithuna is another understanding. This is that पूर्णाहुति कुंडलिनी योग के साधना के क्रम में तय होती है. शक्ति और शिव तत्व के तादात्म्य, it means you have to balance between Shiva and Shakti, and that has to be union with the harmony, and that is the real Maithuna. And that way, when Shiva and Shakti union takes place, and you have been study already Vijnana Bhairav Tantra, right? Is very important. I can quote here now. According to Vijnana Bhairav Tantra, when Shakti rising all the way to the Brahma and to the, how say, the cosmic prana, because awakening kundalini means is cosmic prana, parasakti. So parasakti itself naturally and enter into Shiva Tattva. So we need a state of the consciousness, even parasakti. Parasakti, according to Vijnana Bhairav Tantra, even awakening kundalini, awakening kundalini means you are experiencing the parasakti, right? So when you experience the Shakti, and at the same time, that going to help you the transcendental consciousness, that transcendental consciousness helping you in order to recognize this Shiva Tattva, then you naturally became merged with Shiva, or you became became Shiva Tattva, right? Absolute consciousness. Do you remember a little bit what I teach last year? Atma, how say? Vijnanavar Tantra? Atmanam?
Yeah, verily. Yes. I remember many different meditations, many different darshans. I remember very vividly, yes. Meditating on a dead body, on a coarse body, cold body, like
No,
this.
I'm not speaking that. I'm speaking about how last year when I speak about the Sakti, how she can recognize the Shiva Tattva and became final liberations.
In the
remember something?
Tantra. No.
Yeah, Tantra.
I have to read it again. I remember only the different meditation techniques.
If people not do any homework, only listening 1 year and again everything getting out. You need to have a homework when a preparation coming like this. When you study with the master continuously, whatever I taught, you need to have a homework to do. Homework is very important. You don't do any homework actually. So let I ask this Shiva Puja, what's the last year remember about the Vijnana Tantra?
So Atmanandaji said correct, because in Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, they call every sutra as dharana. So the meditation technique from the sutra, this is, I think, what he means. All of Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is like the meditation technique about how Shakti will.
Yes, but you have to understand, there is one stage, very nice sutra, I also forget that, the Sakti has to enter into the cosmic prana, the consciousness of the Parasakti. So Parasakti means the cosmic prana, and that prana is help in order to experience the Shiva Tattva. That is very good sutras. So tomorrow I can bring that quotations. Today I can't bring. I remember correctly how a Parasakti can enter and to realize the Shiva Tattva. Shiva Tattva is as cosmic, the supreme consciousness. But how that supreme consciousness to recognize, to realize, and the Sakti need to all the way to go to the Shiva Tattva. So therefore, Lord Shiva, the Sadasiv, he explained to Mother Parvati, to Sakti, and you have to awaken such a consciousness, the Parasakti within yourself. So here awakening Kundalini means awakening the cosmic prana or the cosmic consciousness. And through cosmic consciousness, you are going to realize the absolute consciousness. So that is all about the Shiva Tattva. And then that is what about Vijnana Tantra. So that is very good sutras. So tomorrow I will bring it. And that I was explaining table by table how it happens. Like Shiva Tattva in the supreme and Shiva Tattva is divisible. The Parasakti and Aparasakti both. So like this, we have to go to stage by stage. So tomorrow I will remind you again. If people actually not working homework, only listening 1 year and getting another year. So if you study something Jnana Yoga, you always remember all these things. And that helping you to reminding of your samskaras, remind your viveka, reminding for your chitta as well, and reminding your sattvic and rajasic and tamasic gunas, where you can transcend. Okay. Then सामान्यतः मिथुन शब्द का अर्थ होता है जोड़ा. This thing मिथुन translate into as a union. But we have to be very clear when people when Parasakti or Sakti or the Shiva Tattva, the both are Sakti Tattva and Shiva Tattva, both are Tadatma, means a harmony. That energy only helps in order to union between Shiva and Sakti. Otherwise, it's not possible. So here, so therefore, we have to understand according to Dachinacharya. Means when there are practicing so many techniques, of course, I am not talking about technique now. Already I speak last. I speak in my many lectures, many techniques. But we need to understand what is the behind the philosophy, darshan. I am teaching darshan shastra. The philosophy of the Tantra, according to Tantra Shastras, you have to be very clear. I'm not teaching only gossiping here, as per the Guruji. So, और जब जीव और परमात्मा शक्ति और शिव या प्रकृति और पुरुष के बीच भेद या द्वैत समाप्त हो जाता है, तब वह अवस्था मैथुन कहलाती है. Look, it's very interesting. इसे जीवात्मा, आत्मा, परमात्मा, शक्ति, शिव, प्रकृति, पुरुष. We have so many words, right? So keep remember this. So now it says Jivatma. Jivatma means we are the all are Jivatma. So when you realize, when a Jivatma need to realize, Jivatma need to realize, I'm not a Jivatma, I'm the Atma. So here Jiva, and stay with the Chitta, the consciousness and the reflection of the Atma. Right? So Jivatma, because due to false knowledge, we are experiencing Jivatma. When we have right knowledge, we are experiencing Atma, and that Atma merges with the Paramatma. But according to concept of Maithuna, what is Maithuna? They say Maithuna is when you don't find Dvaita. There is no Dvaita at all. Jivatma, Paramatma, Shakti, Shiva, Prakriti, Purusha. There is no Dvaita. That is called Maithuna. That means all kind of confusions, all kind of doubts, all kind of false knowledge, all kind of avidya, all kind of ignorance, when it completely vanishes, then wisdom appears, and that is called Maithuna. Am I clear that? So therefore, this is the Dachina Marga. So therefore, in Maithuna, kriyas the people do, or the sadhak and sadhikas, or male and female partners, they have to come as such a stage where they can completely forget the Dvaita. Dvaita brings confusions and duality. So there's opposition of duality. And even a sadhaka doing the awakening kundalini takes place, like in Samadhi. So we have female and male energy within ourselves as well, as per the science. And when you reach that stage of the supreme consciousness or Brahmajnana, that is also called Maithuna. So here the Maithuna means union. But Maithuna means not lost. Again, I clarify with you. So Maithuna people translate as sexual union. Sexual union means normal translation as a lost. So sex is lost. But love is not lost. Love is immortal, leads to the Samadhi, leads to the Brahmajnana, according to Tantra Shastra. So Maithuna, the real translation is Sanskrit, Prasanna, Mridyu. That's what I find the dictionary. Mridyu means Prasanna, bliss. But generally we translate, generally it happens to the life as a lost and misery and sufferings, whatever. So according to Tantra Darshan, no. So real Maithuna takes place between Shiva and Shakti, or the practitioner of the sadhakas or sadhikas, tantrika or tantrika. So they have to grade the secret meanings, and they are practicing and preserving the bindu and awaken the kundalini and go to the merge together. Shiva and Shakti has to merge. That stage known as a person reach to the awakening kundalini, and that leads to the samadhi and brahmajnana. साधक को जब देह ज्ञान, जैसे दैट दोनों का एक दूसरे से योग होना या दोनों का एक दूसरे से मिल जाना मैथुन है. Again they say that दोनों का एक दूसरे से योग, it means Shiva and Shakti when union together, or Atma and Paramatma union together, or the Purusha and Prakriti union together, that known as Maithuna. So साधु को जब तक देह ज्ञान, इंद्रिय ज्ञान और अंतःकरण द्वारा प्राप्त ज्ञान का आभार नहीं हो रहा था, तब समाधि, लय, योग या मैथुन की स्थिति प्राप्ति होती है. According to Dachina Marga, they say that one should not pretend I am a physical body, annamaya kosha only, or jivatma. One should not think I am only indriya, the senses. One should not think only I am the mana buddhi chitta ahankar. But if that person enter into samadhi, laya yoga, that known as stage is called Maithuna, where the complete awareness of the supreme consciousness of the Brahman. So that is called union and Maithuna. So as per understanding of the Dachinacharya schools, is the school of Dachinacharya. And Dachinacharya followed by the Yogi path as well. Then we are entering to the different school, Kaula Marga. के में मैथुन शब्द का प्रयोग शक्ति मार्ग से इन कौल मार्ग, कौलाचार्य और कौलपात, इस मैथुना is known as the शक्ति मार्ग, शक्तिपात और आत्मनिवेदन, complete surrender to the goddess, इष्ट की प्राप्ति तथा तादात्म्य की स्थापना मैथुन है. So the path of a Kaula Marga, Maithuna is all about to complete surrender to Shakti, to the goddess. So in this sadhana, then question comes, when they say Shakti Marga, it means a Shiva or the male partners as a Shiva, it has to surrender to the complete Shakti, to the goddess. Or there's another way question, a female partner with Shakti, but itself Shakti, but has to complete surrender to Atma Nivedan या समर्पण के रूप में किया जाता है. So here also both are vice versa. A female partner also need to complete surrender to Shiva Tattva as well. So both has to surrender each other before they are practicing the Maithuna Kriyas. So we call Maithuna Kriya, another understandings. So not the Maithuna. So don't say that when female male Shiva Tattva practicing both partners according to Kaula Marga is called Maithuna Kriya. It's not Maithuna only sexual union, no. So if they know the secrets and they can rise their Kundalini and through the Swadhisthana to all the way to experience not only the pleasure in the Swadhisthana, but they have to experience every chakras to lead, even heart chakra or the Sahasrara to reach and that bliss. And at that time, they can enter into Samadhi and they can free from the Annamaya Kosha, means not to have pretend avidya. Awareness is there, but they can transcend Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manamaya Kosha, Ananda, and Vijnana and Anandamaya Kosha they can enter. So that known as the Maithuna. So in different perspectives. यदि व्यक्ति प्रेमी के प्रति अपने भाव में आनंद की प्राप्ति करे तो यह मैथुन है. They say that it is very important between practicing the sadhana, the both partner has to go with love. So and one has to feel the blissful and calm and quiet during the Maithuna Kriyas as well, and that known as Maithuna. It's not only the union, but they have to feel that vibration together as well. That means one has to feel the peace and harmony even that time. Of course, during the union and without union, that moment when they start the Kriyas. And same time, Pati Patni, so husband, wife, बच्चे गुरु और ईश्वर प्रेमी कोई भी हो सकते हैं. But here is the different perspectives. You can love your husband, you can love your children, you can love your husband, you can love your guru, you can love the God. So these are one can find also be peace. महत्वपूर्ण ये है कि प्रेमी के प्रति साधक का भाव is very important when both partners as practicing such kind of Maithuna Kriya, they have to have attitude as a sadhaka, not to think like a common persons, right? So it is very important also. So you have to feel like as a divine, as a sadhaka. So that attitude has to be there. If you like a common persons and there is the Maithuna Kriya, that does not work. So you have to take higher meanings. Shiva और शक्ति के स्वयं के आत्मा के क्षेत्र में होने वाले आनंद अनुभूति. So when Shiva and Shakti both are union, it means there will be Atma Anubhuti. So one can experience the soul, the spirit, the Atma. एंड शारीरिक संपर्क के होने वाले आनंद की अनुभूति से करोड़ों गुना अधिक होते हैं। यह भाव समाधि की स्थिति है जिस साधक को देहाभ्यास नहीं रहता। So during the Maithuna Kriya, not only they have to experience the physical pleasures, but they have to experience the Atma, the spirit, the bliss. So it is 1,000 million times the bliss. And that Maithuna Kriya takes all the way to the Brahma Jnana. So you have to understand the difference between the Maithuna Kriya and the common sexual unions. So that is there. And that time, they're supposed to transcend all their dehabhasa. So they're supposed to have physical ego, and they have to really transcend all their annamaya kosha, the pranamaya kosha, manamaya kosha, where the ego is exist. So they're supposed to transcend this. Then only that is called Maithuna Kriya. If ego and avidya are there, and they're actually and slave of their tamasi gunas or the rajasi gunas or sattvic gunas even, so there will be no proper samadhi, there is no proper Brahma Jnanam. So that has to practice. So you have to understand here the Maithuna Kriya, one has to take as a kriyas. That only that bhav, the attitude has to be there. And the both partner has to feel Shiva and Shakti in divine understanding. Then such a bhav, the attitude, start the kriyas and union takes place. That takes you all the way to samadhi and bliss, and that takes to the Atma Jnanam or the Brahma Jnana. So that known as the Maithuna. So it is Tantric perspectives. So according to Kaula Marga. So anyway, and then we have to go other school. So already I say that, so whatever you are going to Tantric practices, you must get the guidance from the master, the gurus, or if your own partner has no already initiate and such techniques, or he have the previous karmas or the past karmas, he can also go through the or pass some scars. So it depends. So you have to find out how we can proceed all kind of tantric sadhana. Then this is Bama Marga. Now we are going to the third stage. Bama Marga में कहा गया है जिस समय साधक का संभव होता है, the when in Bama Marga, in the left path tantra, generally Dakshina Marga, one has to prepare physically many things, and Dakshina Marga there is practice of partners, but the Kala Marga and Bama Marga both, so there can partners practice female and male partners, Shiva and Shakti. So therefore they explain a little bit. इससे Bama Marga में कहा गया संभोग. Samhoga means sexual union, and Maithuna, here they don't use the Maithuna, they use the Sambhoga, means the sexual union, and that is according to the Maithuna Kriyas. उसी समय प्राप्त आनंद के अनुभव को ठीक भाव से देखो, समझो. So the time the according to Bama Marga led Tantra, if there is Maithuna Kriyas, they have to observe and look into with the viveka, with the morals and full mindfulness, awareness and aware and conscious, dekho, to watch and to understand. What that? You see, whatever bliss there, so you have to observe it without moha, without raga. इस संभव के समय में वीर्य त्याग या स्खलन नहीं होना चाहिए. The during sexual union, this is that virya means semen, it has to be not ejaculate at all. So that is the Maithuna Kriyas according to left Tantra. They say संभोग के समय में, the time of sexual union, the Maithuna Kriyas, virya means semen, त्याग का स्खलन नहीं होना. That's supposed no ejaculation of semen at all. So that means बिंदु के अपने भीतर के धारण करना है. So one has to preserve bindu in the bindu chakras, and that have to retention it. And that bindu always falling down in our Manipura chakra, and where general people, when general in common sense, like all beings, have Seklina or Maithuna, in the virya, the bindu is dissolved in our Manipura chakra, where through the Surya, through the fire is destroyed. So it doesn't help to retention the bindu. So that is another secrets. And is all the way, so person experience the temporary pleasures, and which is that has to be written. So बिंदु को अपने भीतर को धारण करने, one has to preserve the bindu as any cost. That means not let fall into Manipura chakra. So that you have to understand this. जब तक साधक बिंदु को अपने भीतर, of course they don't write here. Manipur chakra, already I give you information before. So already I have been studying, and also with my own masters as well. So that bindu suppose not falling in the Manipura chakra, where the house of fire. So you are destroy that bindu. So let the bindu has to preserve any cost. जब तक साधक बिंदु को अपने भीतर धारण किए रहता है, तब तक वह सिद्ध कहलाता है. If there is no ejaculation at all, the bindu preserved at any cost, such a person is a siddha. Such person is a siddha yogi, siddha master, the guru, and he is the real tantric. And such a person can enter to the, again, of course, with the help of the awakening kundalini of the Shakti, and leads all due to the Siva Tattva, to the Brahma Jnana. But according to the our master, that Maithuna Kriya one can practice like one can be practiced regular as well. But it is like a Kriya, like a sadhana. Maithuna as a sadhana one has to take. So it is not for ordinary and common sadhakas. So it is the special yogis with the master of certain extent, Annamaya kosha, the Manamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha. It has 3 bodies, one has to be over mastery. Even if Vijnanamaya kosha certain extent. Such a sadhaka can enter into Maithuna Kriyas. Ordinary people, ordinary sadhaka, ordinary yogis is not possible for them. So therefore, we have to be very clear. इसी से वासना पर नियंत्रण की प्राप्ति होती है. The time you retention the bindu, so naturally you are not going to involve with raga and moha or the passions. So that naturally help you to experience the compassion and the kindness. So such a kriyas leads all the way. And it means one can overmaster the passion. Once you are know the secrets how to preserve the bindu. So that is very important, and no ejaculation. So that is they speak about it. It's a vasana. Vasana means any kind of we have desires or attachments or moha, raga. So naturally a person can overmaster and he becomes siddha. इसी साधक का 4 मूल प्रवृत्तियों आहार, निद्रा, भय और मैथुन पर विजय प्राप्त करता है. So here the Maithuna, they speak a sexual union according to left path. But in Maithuna, they speak Dachinachara different. Atma's Paramatma mil jana. So Atma and merge with the Paramatma is called Maithuna. But here they speak about little bit different according to practice. According to ancient time. Ancient time, there is only the Tantra Shastras and everything extra. There was no monastic lives. So everybody live normal life, and same time they have their procreation, they have children, same time they have the Maithuna Kriyas, also they entering to the higher consciousness, to the Brahma Jnana as well. इसी से साधक का 4 मूल प्रवृत्तियां आहार, निद्रा, भय, मैथुन पर विजय. Anyone preserve the bindu, a person can over control of the food to sleep and afraid of death, and also over mastery of the sexual passions as well. So bindu, if anyone preserves naturally within themselves, and they get siddha and get perfections, and that over mastery of the 4 bhrityas, pravritya. So this is the ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna is called pravritti, part of our instinct, to be a master, means to transcend. That will be there, but you need to transcend, not to be slave, not to be. So if one can bija prapta karta hai, one can win over, one can transcend once you are preserve the bindu and not ejaculation of any energy. So that is the secrets of the Vama Marga. वीर्य स्खलन नहीं होने से उसके साथ जुड़ी हुई भावना, वासना और आसक्ति समाप्त हो जाता है. So when a person preserve the bindu, not ejaculation any virya or the semen, what happening? This is साथ जुड़ी हुई वासना. So most of the time when you are ejaculating the semen, not preserve bindu, so our attitude became actually towards going to negative, not always positive. Our vasana, the passion also became negative. and our asakti. So we became moha and raga is there. So it's very important how to preserve the bindu. And during the Maithuna Kriyas, that is very important. So that is they speak about the bhavana, the attitude, the vasana, any kind of desires, and asakti. Naturally, a person over mastery, and that leads all the way to the siddhis, and it's all the way also leads to the brahmagyan or atmagyan, whatever you say, and awakening of the kundalini. Then pranam ke abhyas mein मत्स्य भोजन के समय प्राणों की जागृति होती है, यह साधक निद्रा वृत्ति पर विजय प्राप्त कर लेता। जैसे प्राणायाम के अभ्यास, if you practice the pranayama, मत्स्य भोजन, मत्स्य means fish, eating the fish, समय eating the fish, मत्स्य भोजन के समय प्राणों की जागृति होती है, यह साधक निद्रावृत्ति पर विजय प्राप्त करता है। So during practice of pranayama, what happening? So pranayama is different secrets. So that you must ask the gurus, masters, and there is a special technique. It has to practice the pranayama. Pranayama here actually between Shiva and Shakti, they have to practice both together. That prana, and that prana means apana has to unite together. So like you see the Padma Sambhava, so like the hugging each other. You see that in Buddhist pictures, like Shiva and Shakti, they're holding each other, like so, like this. So they are breathing together. So there is a Maithuna Kriyas, but they have nostrils always connected. So prana and apana, they can breathe in and out. So in the circular motions. So that also helping the pranic and that awakening. Jagruti hoti hai. Samaya prano ki jagruti. That is called prana is the awakening. That is very important. But most of the time people forget that. So that is also another secrets. And that you can get guidance for the masters or if you have right partners and so on. However, so all the Maithuna Kriyas or any Kriyas of the Tantra, one has to get guidance. The masters or if you have good partners can be guided. Either female or male partners or male guru or female gurus. So we have to find that. So प्राणायाम के अभ्यास से मत्स्य भोजन के समय प्राणों की जागृति होती है या साधक निद्रावृत्ति पर विजय प्राप्त कर लेता। So once you are united with the prana and both partners during Maithuna Kriyas, so that prana actually helping you how to overmaster the nidra, overmaster of your sleeping. So mudra और मांस भक्षण के समय साधक आहार वृत्ति पर तथा मद्यपान के समय भय वृत्ति पर विजय प्राप्त कर लेता है। So this that is also using the fish here. So they try to concluding this Maithuna Kriyas. You say you can do also pranayama, eating the fish and doing the breaths, and during mudra you practice and control the breath. How say control the bindu or over master of the bindu. So what happening? Or preserving the bindu and eating the meat. So normally a sadhaka, some sadhaka ahara vritti and then drinking the alcohol. And what happening? So in a sadhaka, it doing mudras, preserve the bindu, like you do the bindus. Already I say that. Mulabandha, Bajali mudra. That already Gurus explain before the all mudras. They say how many mudras? Hechadi mudra, yoga mudra, and Sambhavi mudra, Pasani mudra, Bajali mudra, Sahajali mudra. There is also other mudras to be practiced, and that also not explained here. But you have to get guidance of the masters. But there certain mudras has to be done between both partners. And if somebody during practice of mudra, they have to eat meat. So meat and alcohol, a person drinks, that helping how to free from all kind of fear and afraid of death. So therefore, some aghoris, that is say because Bama path, Bama Marga or Kaulacharya is the path of aghoris. Normally they do in the Smasana Sadhana. So I'll explain Smasana Sadhana later. We still not study Smasana. Sabha Sadhana is one part, Smasana Sadhana also different a little bit. So these are the guidelines for the Maithuna. But already I'm out of the time. I can't complete. Still something is left over. I mean, it's not complete. I have to read all Sanskrit. So again, we have to study Kulanava Tantra. So now they speak about Dachinacharya, Kaula Marga, Bama Marga. Late we have to go to study Kulanava Tantra. Kulanava Tantra is very much advanced science, like Mahanirvana Tantra, Kulanava Tantra, Rudrayamal Tantra, like Vijnanava Tantra, many things. But Kulanava Tantra is part of also Agarividyas. Like Maithunakriya, they try to explain more details. Which is many things not available in the scriptures as well. Not the Gurus explain. But as I say that, you always need guidance of the Gurus or masters and get the Dikhyas. So that's what I like to speak today. So take whatever you read, so you can put the seeds and as a knowledge, as an informative knowledge, not the wisdom, not the knowledge, only information you get. So until you realize, until you practice, so there is no proper realizations, there is no proper illuminations, there is not proper bodha. Bodha is still not find the right terminology. Last time Siva said the illumination, enlightenment, realizations. But bodha is something you have to have, how say? I mean, it's something which is you understand, not by mind, not by matters, not a phenomenon, not by anamaya question, not a manamaya question, not a vijnanamaya question, not even anandamaya question. It's beyond that. Not a sapna, not jagrata, not a sapna, not a susupti, but beyond susupti. The transcendental consciousness, that called bodha. And once you have bodha of your atma and paramatma through these all kriyas, then is called final liberation. Otherwise, not. All are avidyas. Whatever you experience, anamaya kosa, pranamaya kosa, manamaya kosa, begin, all are avidyas, avidya, even anandamaya kosa. You have to go all beyond this, the transcendental consciousness. Siva Tattva is the final, where is nothing in avidya, no mind, no matter, no phenomena, nothing. The transcendental consciousness. So, thanks to all of you today. I'll explain next. You have to wait for Saturday, Sunday, because Monday, tomorrow, I'm going to speak Siva Tattva, Saivaism. And I can have some quotation of the Saivaism is a lot of, and tomorrow I'm going to try to speak about Advaita perspective of Saivaism and also relate to Tantra as well. Tantra and Advaita, how it works in Kashmir Saivaism. Very interesting science for tomorrow. And how many kind, I have very good different kind of ashrams also. How to explain different kind of ashrams, different kind of schools, so many things to learn according to Vedic science, but somehow is all into informative knowledge. And you have to work hard for the Brahmajnana, and you have to be must clear. And you have to be very clear and must be clear and always get the guidance of the gurus and masters. If you not that have it, forget this life. Again, you come after one, and after one like this. If you are already like Sankaracharya, you could already in the age of 5 already become enlightenment. So forget that. So we supposed not look, and we supposed not to compare as a divine Shishya, as a Divya Shishya. And I think I personally need master. I don't know you need master or not. That is not my business. So I am very clear. I need guru. I need master always. And whatever I'm looking for the spiritual path. Otherwise, all are the informative knowledge. So that has to be very clear. Hari Om Tassat, Hari Om Tassat, Hari Om Tassat. Sankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutrama Sakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Ishvara Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyamavad Bhakta Dehaya Siddhachina Murtai Namaha Siddhachina Murtai Namaha Om Gangurubhyo Namaha Om Ganganapate Namaha Om Aim Sarasate Namaha Om Kling Kalikaya Namaha Om Klim Bhadrakali Namaha Om. So late today special prayer to Lord Shiva and Parasakti. Karpuragaram Karunavataram Samsara Sarang Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayara Vinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Om Anek Janma Samprapta Janma Karma Vidahina Atmajnana Pradhanena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So salutation to all masters, all gurus, whoever preserve the beautiful science of yoga, tantra, Vedanta, and whatever we don't know, and they also preserve, so that they can guide us in subtlest form, in the subtlest form. So we need their blessings and grace, all the masters, whoever and wherever they are. So I hope we receive their blessings through these teachings. Thanks to all of you. God bless you, and I wish you have good night. So tomorrow we can have question answers if you are in this class, and tomorrow we can have question answers. Shiva Tattva. So tomorrow will be Saivaism.